Okay, what's up guys? So today I thought it'd be really fun to choose one book from Oshale and Brittany, who, if you don't know, I'm in a book club with called A Seat at the Table, where we read only books by Black authors with Black characters. So I thought it'd be fun to go through their Goodreads and pick one book to read myself secretly to see how I like it. Oshale, Brittany, and I do not have the same opinions on books. We do not tend to read the same books. Sometimes we do, most of the time we don't. So I think this would be interesting. Okay, so I've already picked out the books I decided to read. I will say though, I have a bone to pick with both of them, because while Brittany's book I could just get from the library, the library had 63 people in front of me, so I had to get it in ebook, so there's that. But then Oshale's pick was a little bit easier to find, but it wasn't at the library and I had to pay $1. So also, seeing as how our book club is all about Black authors or Black characters, I figured I should probably do a book selection with Black authors and Black characters. So I decided to do Of Children and Blood and Bone. What the fuck? Of Children and Blood and Bone. And then this other book that I've never heard of before, but Oshale gave it good amount of stars. And oh my god, I just saw it. Wait, where'd it go? I just had the book pulled up and I don't remember the name of it is. That's just starting this video off to be great. Bruh, where the hell did the book go? Okay, is this just like a sign? Are you telling me not to read it? Is it terrible? Oh no, here it is. Okay. Okay, that wasn't it. Yo, I'm gonna have a fucking conniption. Oh, here it goes. Okay. So Oshale's book is called Love Me Right Now by B. Love. And this one is about a girl who meets a complete and total stranger to have sex with, and I guess they fall in love. I want to go into this book kind of blindly because of Children and Blood and Bone. I already pretty much know what it's about, and I think everyone does. And everyone has such mixed opinions on how they feel about that book. But Brittany gave it a really high rating. So I'm going to buy this romance book because Oshale has gotten into Brittany and I for talking about wanting to read more romances with Black couples and also never reading anything she tells us to read. So here you go, Oshale. I'm gonna pick one. I don't think you ever told me to read this one, but I didn't really want to go through all 1,200 of the books you've read to find them. So yeah, this should be interesting. I'm gonna start reading probably Love Me Right Now because it's barely 200 pages. So I can get that done, because Children of Blood and Bone, I don't know what I'll feel. I haven't really been reading fantasy in a long time, and I think the last fantasy book I read was Harry Potter. And I could have done Harry Potter, but again, I wanted to keep on the aspect of Black authors, and obviously J.K. Rowling is not, so yeah. We're gonna see how this goes. I don't really have a lot of hope, but because they also told me to read Cinder, and that didn't work out. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Okay, I'm gonna go read or do something, and I'll check back in after I've gotten some reading done. Okay, so I am about 61% done with Love Me Right Now, and I'm actually liking it. I am fairly shocked. What I will say, since it's just a short little book, it's very insta-lovey, but I'm into that shit, and it's really cringy and really fast-paced, but I honestly really like it, and I'm really following the story really well. It's very quick and it's not hard to read at all. So right now, Oshale may be getting 4 stars. We'll have to see, but I'm really freaking liking it. I'm kind of confused though, because I know the girl's name is Akila, but the guy's name kind of confuses me. I want to say his name's Nafeez because she calls him Feez, but it could also be Nafez. But I've been saying Nafeez this whole time, so we're gonna go with Nafeez and Akila. I'm eating that shit up, and I love how patient, but then he's patient, but at the same time he's just not here for her bullshit. I'm in love with it, and I have a thing for dreads, so him in my mind is already sexy as hell. So Yeah, I have not started at Children of Blood and Bone. How come I can't say that name right? But I'm going to start it once I finish this because I am literally 61%, maybe a little bit more than that, done with Love Me Right Now. And I think I'm going to start taking Oshale up on all the books she swears are really good romances with centered around Black love, because I'm really liking this. I think right now my only qualm is that if it was longer, I think it'd be better written out, because there's like the main climax, I suppose, I feel like should be handled a little bit better and in a longer set of pages. But we'll see how that goes. And once I'm done, I will start Children of Blood and Bone and see how long it takes me to finish that, because it only took me a few hours to finish this book. So we'll see. I'll check back in with you guys in a second. Peace. Hello. So it is now the 25th, and it should not have taken me 3 days to read that 170-page book, but randomly I had to watch my nephew, and if you don't know anything about 3-year-olds, they're not going to let you just sit down and chill. So I could not read but maybe like a few pages when I was watching him. And also I was working on some new intros and stuff, so I didn't have time, but I'm officially done with it. And now we're going to talk about the things about this book, because I have some opinions on that. Okay, so firstly, I don't know if I was just confused, or maybe this is how people act when they have children, but the main character, Nefez, whatever his name is, has a stepson, and with his former wife, Karen, and Kevin gets into some trouble, yada, yada, yada. At the end of the day, my biggest problem is at the end, he just seems so like, oh, well, I don't care about this kid. Who the fuck cares? I got a girlfriend. I'll worry about her. And I'm just like, what? And then I'm just like, okay, well, did you ever love the kid anyway? Because what? Like, he just seems so like, this kid's just a throwaway kid, and he like raised his kid since he was 5, and the kid calls him Pops, and I was just like, okay. Oh, and then the ending was just kind of like, oh, I see what you're doing. You want me to read your second book, but I don't really care too much about Nyamika and Creole, so I won't do that. However, I love Nefez, whatever this man's name is. I loved him. I thought he was so, oh my gosh. I have such a thing for dreads. Like, I can't even lie. Like, the person in my head is fine as fuck. Like, oh my god. And honestly, just the way, like, he talked was such a turn on. And I was just like, The main character was I wasn't, like, here nor there for her. I mean, she was fine. The book was fine. It was 170 pages. I actually, enjoyed it pretty much. I'm gonna give it 3 stars though, because I just felt like a lot of the issues in the book were settled in like a page, and I think she was out of pocket, and I didn't really think he was out of pocket, but I don't know. Also though, the climax of the book was kind of obvious. Like, when I got to the point where where I got to like the big secret coming out, I was just like, oh, okay, whatever. So I really just felt like Akilah gave him a pass that he did not deserve. Because when you find out the big secret, that really wasn't that big secret, it was kind of obvious. I just felt like she let him off the hook too easily. But at the same time, I think she was kind of stupid for thinking that because like, okay, this is going to be a spoiler. So if you want to read this, click out. Okay, the whole thing is that Akilah gets into a car accident a year after the prequel of the story in this book. And her best friend Creole, who's dating the main character's brother, they all show up at the hospital, and they're physical therapists, so he agrees to be the main guy agrees to be her physical therapist. he has a stepson, and his stepson has been acting weird, and come to find out, his stepson was in the car that hit Akila. And my whole thing is that he told her she should just get over it because she's fine now. And I was just like, what? But then she goes into this speech about how she understands that it's his son, and that oh, I understand, but you just can't have me too. And I was just like, what? That's his kid. What are you talking about? I mean, also that is, but here was my problem. I think my biggest problem is this book kind of made it seem like stepkids, adoptive kids, etc., that aren't your blood aren't your real kids. And I'm just like, you raised this kid since he was 5. What else makes you qualified to call yourself his dad? He calls him Pops. And so when she said that, I was just like, you're angry that he told you that his son was in the car that hit you, or they didn't get hit, she swerved, but you think that he would allow his son to either be killed or sent to prison behind some chick? What? And then like towards the end, he's like so like just fuck them kids like about it. I'm just like, no, this is your kid. What the fuck is going on? And I was just like, fine, whatever. Maybe if I read the second book, I'll get more clarification, but I don't think so, because the second book isn't about them. It's about their friends. So I didn't like that. Also, I documented my feelings on a Twitter thread. So here is that thread. I would say, all in all, if you wanted to read this, if you're sensitive towards the N-word, don't read it. If you don't like the whole possessive she's mine shit that I love, don't read it. Honestly, if you're easily sensitive, I wouldn't read books like this at all, because you're going to be sensitive page for page. If you don't like that, I'll just tell you to stay away from it. But also, we both know that only books with black characters who date white boys are on YouTube BookTube, but we're just going to leave that alone. But that's neither here nor there. Oh, Chalet, I give your book a 3 stars. You gave it 4, I think. And that was generous, but I liked it. Honestly, I would read another book by this girl, just not the second one, because it doesn't sound interesting to me. But yeah, so now I have to start children. Okay guys, quick update, real quick. I don't want it to be too long. So originally, as Brittany's choice, I was gonna do Children of Blood and Bone, but my library has like 87 people in front of me, so I won't get that until December. But I ended up seeing that she actually gave the Poet X 5 stars, so I decided I'll do the Poet X instead. That way I could hurry this along, because I also didn't want to have to buy the book in case I didn't like it. So we're gonna see. I don't like poetry, so I'm kind of worried, but I hear so many great things about Elizabeth Acevedo, and I hope I like it. So we're gonna see. So yeah, just coming in to say that. Okay, bye. Hey y'all, so I have officially finished the Poet X, which technically both Chalet and Brittany told me to read, but I did it as Brittany's read because she was the one really caping for it. And I am not surprised that I was in love with the Poet X. I think Elizabeth Acevedo is now like on my auto buy author because the Poet X was so good, which says a lot because I don't like poetry like at all. I find poetry kind of boring, to be honest. I'm not big on it. But just the audiobook itself was like, I just feel like if you don't listen to the audiobook of the Poet X, then you're not getting the full extent of it. Because the audiobook is just like you're at a slam poetry night, and it's just so cool and so chill, and I'm in love with it. And then the story is just so relatable. She's really good at writing relatable characters. I know it may not be everyone's cup of tea because not everyone likes slam poetry, but for me, I just felt like so close to X. Like, I'm actually really shocked. Like, I did not know if I was gonna like this book or not, but everyone kept raving about it. And I actually ended up reading after it with The Fire on High for our book club, which I won't get into. But she's on auto buy. Like, this book was so good. And as for the love interest, he is I didn't like him as much as I liked Malachi with The Fire on High, but I still really liked him. I think because we only got it from X's point of view, it was kind of like, you're just getting one side of it. But I was like, I wasn't mad at him when she got mad at him. I was just like, no, don't be mad at him. Like, maybe he just didn't want to get his ass whooped. Like, but it's so good. Like, Elizabeth Acevedo just writes such phenomenally. Like, I'm in love with it. So Brittany, your book gets 5. Oshale, your book is 3. But it's okay because technically, Oshale, I'll give it to you. I didn't pick a book that you gave 5 stars because I didn't feel like going through all of your books. But yeah. So I didn't get to document as much as I would have liked with the Poet X because I was just too busy to do it. And quite frankly, I was too into it to even like pay attention. And also I listened to the audiobook. I didn't read it like with the book. So I think that's also probably why I forgot to check in. But those are basically my thoughts. I was like super in love with it. I don't normally take recommendations when I know we don't have the same taste. I feel like me and Oshale's taste are more similar than Brittany and I's are, but this was still like kind of fun, and I won't ever doubt Brittany ever again. I'm sorry, because I definitely doubted you in the beginning of this video. Like, a few days ago, I was just like, there's just no way that I'm going to like anything I pick of Brittany's. But I chose the Poet X because I was just like, you know what? I'm going to give Oshale and Brittany the benefit of the doubt. And I'm not going to let Cinder be what stops me from doing this video because it was a fun idea. And yeah, I may do this again, but I'm still not going to tell you guys. So if you guys watch this, I'm still not going to tell you when I do it, if I do it again. But yeah, so hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you should tell me. And yeah, I think that's it. So until next time, bye.